capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television.
Hello and welcome. I am Olumide Macaulay. Tonight, large turnout of voters in the Osun State governorship election. Main parties in the poll disagree over the role of security agents in the exercise. Kwara State APC and PDP trade blame over the defacing and destruction of APC billboards in Ilorin. Experts advise against panic measures as fears over the spread of Ebola virus mount. And U.S. President Barack Obama vows to stop the jihadist state as he admits stabilizing Iraq will be tough. And on business news, the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading Company and the Nigeria Sovereign Wealth Fund are to manage a $350 million investment for the financing of electricity generation.
And on sports news, Manchester City manager Manuel Pellegrini and his Arsenal counterpart Arsene Wenger engaged in games ahead of Sunday's Community Shield clash.
We begin with the elections in Osun State, where voting in the governorship polls in Nigeria's southwest region has ended. The exercise, which has been adjudged as peaceful, began at about 8 a.m. today and ended at 12 noon. Our correspondent reports that the turnout of voters was on the high side in most parts monitored, and the situation has been largely calm as residents went about the process without any rancor. 20 candidates representing 20 political parties are vying for the tickets to the Osun State Government House. A total of 1,407,222 registered voters spread across 3 senatorial districts were expected to have exercised their mandate. Osogbo, the state capital, has the highest number of registered voters with 110,670, followed closely by Ife Central with a voting population of 95,471. 19 domestic and 10 foreign observers have been accredited by INEC to monitor the election.
The Osun governorship election begins on a smooth note, with voters tripping out en masse as early as 8 a.m. to be accredited. The process is on, and the enthusiasm of the voters is apparent as they go through the list for their names. The situation is the same in most of the wards, including the Ife-Ijesha senatorial district, where the state governor, Ralph Aregbesola, was accredited alongside other eligible voters. Similarly, the PDP flag bearer, Senator Yola Omishore, gets accredited at St. Gabriel Primary School, where he is expected to cast his vote. Voting commences, and the voters, including the APC candidate and his PDP counterpart, take turn to exercise their civic responsibility at their respective polling stations. The candidates have praised the conduct of the election with some other voters.
I was well accredited, and my wife was accredited as well. With my children, I believe and I hope that it will be as smooth as this elsewhere. The commitment of the people to the democratic process is quite appreciable. And my belief in democracy is further reinforced by the enthusiasm of the people.
Well, it's very fast and I did very well. But generally, the electioneering, the process, there's been a lot of improvements. The turnout is very good. But you know, in any process, there are faulty areas, particularly human-driven. Any process that involves human beings, you don't expect 100% efficiency. If as an engineer, in machine efficiency is 99% in our calculations. So you allow plus or minus.
There's no any crisis, and I can see the policemen and the civil defense and the others, they are working perfectly. So the voting is going smoothly.
Sorting and counting at polling station is on, and the voters are not leaving anything to chances. They hang around with party agents, keeping watch over the ballot boxes.
3, 4.
Osun people have decided by casting their votes. What is left now is for INEC to reel out the candidates' results based on the votes received. We do hope that the contenders understand that only one winner will emerge and therefore be prepared for the outcome and take the result in good faith.
Meanwhile, the Osun State governorship election process may have ended on a high note, but there's been a war of words over the questioning and arrest of some officials of the APC allegedly orchestrated by the PDP. The publicity secretary of APC, Lai Mohammed, accused the PDP of being high-handed and wondered why the clampdown on their officials. Meanwhile, PDP chieftain and former aviation minister Femi Fani-Kayode said security operatives were only doing their jobs to curtail the excesses of anyone posing a security threat to the peaceful conduct of the election.
I was arrested, traumatized, alongside Mr. Sunday Dari and Mr. Salisu Afolabi on our way to a broadcast here. So, I mean, even from my own example, it's clear that the PDP picked leaders of our party because they wanted to destabilize the party. Some members were also arrested while we were trying to vote and wanted to ask Mr. State for Defense, why weren't these people picked up a week, 4 days, 5 days, 3 days to the election? Why were they all picked up on the eve of election?
Well, on the issue of the arrest of people, which is being asked all over the place. I mean, I as far as I'm concerned, anybody that constitutes a nuisance or a risk to the security of others in this state should not complain or be surprised when they're apprehended or arrested by the security agencies or questioned. The APC are making so much noise about the fact that their publicity secretary was questioned and some of their other leaders were arrested or apprehended. The fact of the matter is this: anybody that comes into this state, particularly from outside the state, that is not resident here, that is not voting here, and that has come here with a specific intention to destabilize the peace or destabilize the state or intimidate people or incite violence, really ought to be questioned. And I don't think they should, whine too much about that.
We'll now join our correspondent, Seun Okimba-Loye, our political correspondent, who is right now in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, to give us the latest information on the polls. Seun. Okay, Seun, if you can hear me, what do we know about when the results will be finally released?
The affair here in Osogbo, the capital of Osun State. The election has taken almost the whole day, starting from about the hour of 8 o'clock. Up to now, we are still expecting results of the poll. Well, since the time that the voting proper started, that's about 12:13, most of the polling center, it ended at about 5 p.m. in most places. And now we've seen just few results coming in. Some of the electoral officers are just coming in their ones and twos. And in another few hours, we should expect this particular place to be activated. Just above my shoulder here, the seats provided for the officials who are going to be partaking in the announcement of the result. The most important seat that we'll be looking at is that one at the center, the returning officer. That is the man who will announce the final result for this very election. This is the venue here at the INEC headquarters where every eye is on. Almost every media you can think of is on ground here, and Channels Television is of course on ground to bring you all the details of the announcement of the result. Any moment when the results of the 30 local governments are together and they are brought here, then we can have the result being announced. It's back to you, Olumide.
Thank you, Sheung. Our correspondent, Sheung Kimbaloyi at the INEC office in Osogbo, saying amongst other things that we're still expecting the results of the election. The whole process ended about 5 p.m. today, and he's on standby to give us further information on that news. In the meantime, away from Osun State, the Kwara State chapter of the All Progressives Congress has accused the state chapter of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, of defacing and destroying its party billboards and signposts, warning the opposition not to turn the state into a theater of crisis. The PDP, on its part, denied that allegation, asking the ruling party to look inwards for the perpetrators.
What you see here is not caused by wear and tear. It appears to be a well-planned attack on these billboards and signposts. An attack the Kwara State All Progressive Congress claims is carried out by thugs hired by the opposition party PDP.
As we speak, billboards with inscription of APC logo and imprint of APC manifestos sponsored by APC member erected at the frontage of their houses and junctions of their street in the Ilorin metropolises have been massively destroyed by PDP thugs in a clear attempt to provoke retaliation from APC member in order to set the ground for its evil plot to burn Kwara State.
An accusation the People's Democratic Party denies.
I'm embarrassed that the APC can claim that members of my party, PDP, defaced or destroyed their billboards. And in any case, what is our business with billboards being erected here and there? If that is their own method of politicking, good luck to them. But ours is to raise issues. In fact, just about 2 or 3 days ago, ex-councillors demonstrated against the government. Why can't they look at these other sources? It must have been done by those people that are dissatisfied with their mode of operation.
As accusations go back and forth, it is left to the State Police Command to take appropriate steps to avoid a conflict.
In part 2, after the break, President Goodluck Jonathan challenges Nigerian youth to maximize their potential and change the country. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.